confronted in a random attack and left for dead. A horrific crime leaves a community on edge. Now a hunt for a killer.
Neighbors and even LAPD detectives are rattled by the brutality of this crime. The suspect later seen just calmly walking away.
Hello, SSB Rai here, and today we'll be talking about the case of Brianna Kupfer. Brianna was born on April 9th, 1997 to parents Todd and Lori Kupfer. She also had 3 other siblings. Brianna was from Pacific Palisades, which is an affluent neighborhood in Los Angeles, California. The place is often likened to Beverly Hills, but due to its secluded nature, it affords its famous residents more privacy. Anyway, Brianna attended Brentwood High School, and for her undergrad, she studied public relations at the University of Miami. At the time of her murder, she was studying architectural design at UCLA as a grad student and had been working at Kupfer House as a consultant for about a year. Kupfer House is a high-end furniture store nestled in Los Angeles near Hollywood Boulevard. So what happened? On Thursday, January 13th, 2022, Brianna was working at the Kupfer House when, around 1:30 p.m., she sent a text to a friend saying that someone inside the store was giving her a bad vibe, but the friend did not see the text immediately. About 15 minutes later, a customer entered Kupfer House and discovered Brianna's lifeless body. Law enforcement and paramedics arrived soon after and determined that she had passed away. Police quickly uncovered the following footage of their suspect. Not long after, they identified the man in the video as Sean Laval Smith. So, who is Sean Laval Smith? At the time of this video, Sean is a 31-year-old man with a history of mental illness and a lengthy criminal record that stretched across the country. At the time of the attack, Smith was out on bond pending a trial in South Carolina on charges of firing a flare gun into a moving vehicle with a child inside in 2019. Even though he had been imposed a $50,000 bond, he, although transient, was somehow able to post it. In 2016, Smith was arrested in Charleston County, South Carolina, where he pleaded guilty in 2018 to resisting or assaulting a police officer and was sentenced to time served according to court records. In January 2021, Smith vandalized a car in Daly City, California, and when officers arrested him, he resisted and bit one of them, according to court records. He was charged in San Mateo County with assault on a police officer and resisting arrest. Smith subsequently pleaded no contest to one felony charge of resisting arrest. In addition to an 8-month jail sentence, Smith was ordered to serve 2 years of probation. He served 133 days in jail and was released, but failed twice to report to his probation officer, and his probation was revoked in November of that year. A bench warrant was issued for Smith's arrest, but he vanished from the scene. South Carolina authorities never contacted the California office that had issued the warrant for his arrest, despite Smith being held in the San Mateo County jail for 8 months. Records show that Smith was also arrested in October 2020 in a misdemeanor case in Covina, but the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office declined to file charges. No other details were available about this case. I think any sane person would agree that this person should not have been walking free at the time that he murdered Brianna, and of course, Todd, Brianna's father, expressed his frustration with this situation.
Her father blaming her death on the far-left policies of soft-on-crime political leaders.
I'm not blaming anybody by name. I blame what's endemic in our society right now is that everybody seems to be oriented on giving back rights and bestowing favor on people that rob others of their rights.
That was the line, right? Giving people rights who rob others of theirs. It's not supposed to work that way in a system that's effective, Dana.
While I cannot understand the depths of his grief, I can understand his frustration and understand that he is in a very vulnerable position, but I feel I must disagree with his conclusion. Personally, I do not agree with Todd's supposition that this happened because society is favoring those in disadvantaged positions. Feel free to disagree if you like, but it sounds like Todd would call for all homeless people to be punished over the actions of one man, and I just cannot agree to that. Also, it wasn't the politicians who failed him, the system did.
Florida State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg, he is joining us live tonight to talk about this recent tragedy in LA. Dave, evil, senseless, words that immediately come to mind. Everybody's looking for somebody to blame. I guess my question to start is, did the system fail Brianna by allowing this career criminal to be out on the streets roaming free?
Marnie, it's so tragic, and the system didn't work here. This individual was accused of a felony in South Carolina and then got a $50,000 bond, which is a high bond. But he apparently, according to reports, only had to pay less than the normal 10% of that bond. And then he traveled across the country to California, where he committed additional crimes. And at that point, when you commit additional crimes, you have violated the terms of your pretrial release. So then it would be up to California to hold that individual and then alert South Carolina to extradite him. Apparently, none of that happened. This whole thing is a horrific tragedy. And
not only is this a horrific tragedy, like Dave says in the video, it is also a breakdown in bureaucracy. The system in place is such that Sean should have been in prison after committing his first crime after being let out on bond, but for some reason there was a failure to follow procedure. Ultimately, I find Todd's anger to be a little misplaced. That being said, this truly was a heartbreaking chain of events, and I hope that Sean is prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and that he may never get to see the light of day again. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And as always, this has been SSB Rye signing out.